What is hip hop happening on YouTube? Hope we're all good, and welcome to episode number 2 of Seoul Steppin, the series leading all the way to South Korea, where we're going to be competing in PCA South Korea, the Super Series. So very excited. We've got Evan behind the camera today, and we're training at Muscle Hut Glasgow. This is my home gym. Train here 5 days a week, and it is the Doug's dying play bits. So get yourself down. But yes, today is Tuesday, so we're in for pushing arms or pushing biceps. I moved my biceps and tricep work across the entire week. I have leg day separate for legs, but biceps on my push day, triceps on my pull day, and so on and so forth. So this session, starting off with some arms, because again, my arms are pretty weak, so we like to prioritize those when I am a bit fresher, and then we move on to delts, into presses, and then back to delts. You can never have enough delts with men's physique, so a little bit of that. This is the one session, or the 2 sessions for push and arms. The 2 sessions, I don't actually run ab training. I run abs on my leg session and my pull sessions as a bit of a warm-up and mobility work, but also because I need thicker abs. My abs are already relatively well developed. However, I want to be able to have a little bit more work through those sessions. But in my push, I do quite enjoy just getting into the meat and gravy with the biceps, the delts, then the big old titty movements there. So that is basically the session rundown. In terms of exciting news, we have got dates for PCA Super Series. So we have now got the confirmation. The 20th of September, I will be in either Incheon or Busan competing for PCA Super Series and the NPCA, which is very fucking cool. That is going to be the pinnacle of my career or my competitive season next year, and hopefully bring a relatively good look. There is a show the week prior, which we are unsure on. I really want to do it as well. It's a little bit more north of the country. That is if the Super Series is in Busan. However, there is a possibility for back-to-back peaks in South Korea, which would be fucking wild, to put it bluntly. But we will see. We will see. We are currently, if I check my phone, that is not my phone, that is Evan's phone. If I check my phone, we are 97 days out from the start of prep, so not long at all. Got to make as much use of the time that we've got left in terms of growing. I need more muscle. To be fair, I think everyone just needs more muscle. I need to make sure I can hold my condition as well. So it's a very fine line of not growing too fast, not gaining too much weight too soon, being able to escalate things at a really nice rate, and then being able to start prep relatively lean and be able to move into a nice prep with, again, doing whatever it takes to get me inside out, because realistically, some of the standards of condition in these Asian shows, and especially PCA Korea, is a bit mental. So we need to make sure we can bring as good condition as we possibly can do, even with all the travel that will be coming into play. So stick around, you'll be able to see the whole process being filmed. We've got some really exciting plans, myself and Evan, so stick around for that. But enough yapping, enough shite spouting, let's get into this session. Mate, women's, sure, that's the way forward. Not men's, women's. What I do is I always start my sessions with biceps here for push, but I really enjoy having some free weights rather than just moving into cable work or anything like that. I don't know why. I just engage a lot better if I'm using dumbbells themselves rather than shifting onto a machine. There is the bicelator through there, which we will be moving on to, which will be my next movement after this. However, I do just enjoy challenging the muscle when I'm using free weights to begin with. Then moving on to that single arm, 1 arm at a time, hence single arm. But yeah, you'll see me moving up in this. Don't like to go too heavy. I had previously worked my way up to the 25s, let ego get into it, and I'm just swinging like an absolute idiot. So trying to taper things back down, actually think about targeting the muscle rather than, again, falling into the usual pitfall of free weight. Let's just move it and see how it goes. So trying to be more sensible, actually keep the tension on the bicep and grow, hopefully. Whoa. So next up, we've got the Flex Fitness Bicelator. Bloody lovely. This is going to be, to be fair, with torso leaning back a little bit. Elbow is still going to be somewhat in line with the torso, so relatively similar to the dumbbell curl, but I enjoy it, so it's in. I've been playing around with some different bicep movements beforehand. I really enjoy my other session where I do my bicep like face pulls or my bicep drags in a preacher variation, so something like this, where again the elbow is going to be placed in front of me, and then again with the face drag where my elbows will be flared out, pulling up a little bit more like a hammer curl variation, but through a cable. So those aren't today, unfortunately. I just, for my session, for this one in particular, I really enjoy the push kit, and I just want a session that I like, I just think about all week, and that is Tuesday. So we've got the isolator, 3 sets on each arm, then we'll move on to some delt work, and we'll go from there. Oh. So, with a set like this, we still want to be targeting the muscle and training it as intently as anything else. Whether it be a chest press, whether it be a bicep curl, a calf raise, or a squat pattern, you should be trying to grow every single muscle group the exact same way, intensity. So stop half-arsing your arm movements, your calf movements, your ab movements. These are muscles, they're gonna grow with stimulus. Apply the same trade you would to your quads, to your chest, to your back. Give it to your fucking smaller muscle groups. Stop half-arsing it. Actually, give it some effort and you'll see the results. Oh, I actually feel quite full. Delts are still pretty flat though. We did pin this delt. You won't be able to see, I don't think, the L-carn this morning. So we'll see how that feels on the lat raise. Lat raise. Obviously, men's physique, massive thing. Big ol' bubbly delts and a good midsection. So that's why we have 6 sets on this session today. So 6 delt, 6 bicep. But again, delts are spread across. My delts weren't really big previously. So just trying to scale because I know my accuracy is pretty good, but because they are a smaller muscle group, I can get away with more volume. Again, it's understanding when more volume is valuable. Again, if your accuracy is pish and you can't feel a muscle group, but you're like, oh fuck it, I've got a bit of time, or they feel relatively recovered, assess why do they feel recovered? Have you actually trained them effectively? Have you actually got the most out of them there? So being able to look at my performance and be like, right, okay, delts are getting targeted pretty well, we're growing pretty well. Are they recovering? Yeah, let's fucking throw some more in. So that is the process with my exercise selection. I engage well with them. There you go. Fuck me. This is feeling pretty heavy today. I don't know if it's because I've got a bit more in my delts at the moment. Even that first warm up, I'm like, oh, it's a bit fucking heavy. So yeah, we'll still beat our numbers. This is probably going to go right after the last the last clip that I said, oh, the warm-up feeling heavy. That moved really fucking comfortably. This is now 1 pin short of what I got last rotation, and I got that for 6. Got it for 6. So we're going to try, take it for more repetitions, stay powerful. I don't think I need a load increase on it. I'd much rather be able to build this up for 8, 9, get some really quality reps. Like I said with the bicep, I want to make sure I'm stimulating the muscle rather than just think about getting heavy and moving weight. I'd done that previously. And yes, I built muscle, but I want to be able to know what I'm building, be a little bit more particular with my movements. And again, it's something that I've applied for a lot of my clients where, yes, there's benefit to rip and grip and just fucking getting after it and getting really, really, really strong. But there is also a tipping point where the actual engagement with what you're doing isn't as good. The tissue that you're working isn't getting stimulated anywhere near as effectively. Like actually thinking about profiles, watching for your tendons, watching for your joints, matching resistance profiles. There's a lot more nuance and little fine details that we can go over to make sure that the stimulus that you are driving is a bit more effective. So that is what I'm in the process of doing just now, and just being a bit more particular with my movements rather than letting my ego come into it a bit, because naturally I am relatively strong, but when it comes to muscle acquisition, strength doesn't always equal more muscle. Again, sure, progressive overload is one of the main drivers of hypertrophy. However, I need to make sure I'm keeping the tension and keeping the stimulus solid. So that is a priority for me at this moment.
Stay with it.
Fuck me. That's good. I'll take that. Max reps up a pin.
Huh?
Max reps up 1 pin. Fuck yeah. So, Mr. Campbell, other Campbell, is on the flat press. So, I think I'm actually going to give a run out on the Panata, plate loaded, but nice enough. So we'll see how it is. I've never actually used it before, so we'll see how good the titties feel on that. There you go. 3 sets. To be fair, 3 sets. All of them felt like pretty good fucking stimulus. You need to know when not to go for another rep, because realistically, if I went for another one on any of those sets, it'd have been fucking stupid. So, especially on new kit, get the stimulus. That's the main thing. But feel good. Got a bit of blood in the old milkers, so we're almost done. Oh, even that way. So that wraps up the push and arm session today at Seoul Gym. So we have got some posing. There'll probably be some photos, some videos that have been previous, and my lucky socks. But yeah, session ran really well. I feel a bit fucked coming out of that, but really good session, progressive across the board, and excited for tomorrow's session. We've got pull, so we've got barbell bent over rows, we've got all the good fun stuff. We've got lots. It's basically like a lat session. My lats are shit. My upper back got pretty strong, and in turn my upper back started leading with musculature. So we're trying to counteract that with a lot more rest pauses and a lot more just lat training in particular. And again, like I say, being more particular with the exercises. So we've got a whole lot of lat movements, pullovers, rows, pull downs, and then we've got some fun bits for the upper back, barbell bent over rows, pull downs, all that good stuff. But we will wrap up there. Big thank you to Evan once again for capturing this session. Hopefully you guys have watched. Please be sharing on your socials. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good patter that all these YouTubers say these days. And if this is something you want to see more of, which hopefully it is, it's what I want to make more of anyway, so don't really give a fuck. But hopefully you've enjoyed it regardless, and we'll see you in the next episode of Seoul Steppin. Take care.